one and only Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, thanks to the absolutely incredible contributions from all of my Optibotimus Plus channel members, especially Emerald T, who's been a channel member of mine for the past 2 years, we're going to be taking a look at the new Star Trek The Next Generation 35th Anniversary Retro Commander William Riker from Playmates Toys. The first officer of the Enterprise D is the second figure to get that retro figure upgrade new for 2022. For the package, much like you could see with Captain Picard, very similar to that original card that we got way back in the day. With the gorgeous Enterprise there in the back, you got Commander William Riker on top of the Starfleet logo right there, a list of his Starfleet gear. The only thing that's really different, other than the fact that the card is a little bit smaller, is you have this nice 35-year anniversary blast. When you come around to the back of the package, you got other figures from the Next Generation that are available. You have this nice highlighted section going over the various accessories and what they all do, as well as a really nice bio for Commander Riker, as well as a Q code, which I think is just hilarious. Super excited about all of these, and I hope they just completely go crazy with releasing them. But for the packaging on Commander Riker, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Commander William T. Riker opened up and out of his packaging. And before we get into too much of the figure, I actually did want to bring this out. I was going through my old figures, and I actually did find 2 that I had that were still carded. Commander Riker was one of them. As you can see, though, it is from the Star Trek Generations film. And he does have a slightly different costume. I don't ever remember. He never wore this. But I've talked about this before, how sometimes toy companies get looks and concept art for films and things of that nature, and then they start developing the toys for them. But then, when the movie comes out, for whatever reason, they decide to change the look. But the toy's already basically in production, so they have to go along with it. So this is the costume that apparently they were going to have him wear. You can see it's like this little vest sort of thing, which nicely reminds me of some of those original series costumes that they wore in the movie, where it kind of buttoned up and then would like fold over. That's kind of cool. But I wanted to bring this in because, for comparison, this is the size of the new card. Obviously, this is Commander Riker's, but you can see that, as I was talking about, there is a pretty good size difference. It is shrunken down, but this was the standard size back in the day. And then you come around to the back, and you see all the other figures and things that they came out with for the Generations film. But again, very similar. And a lot of the accessories are actually the same as well. So, taking a look first, I'm going to kind of keep this just hanging out here for a second. You can see that he comes with the Type 2 phaser, which basically looks the exact same. Honestly, it's more silver, which I think looks a little bit better, but it is more accurate to have it in this gray plastic, but you have that. He also does come with a tricorder, which, is that the tricorder? No, I don't think he comes with the tricorder. No, that's not the tricorder. Those are supposed to be isolinear chips. But you do have the tricorder that we saw with Captain Picard. You also do get this thing. I don't know what this is supposed to be. You get a little. I'm dropping it. You get the data pad, which I guess, does he come with a pad? No, he doesn't even come with a pad. So I mean that's you get that as well. But you also get this. Now he does come with this. This opens up. It's a little like away team little briefcase thing with different things inside there that you can't really do anything with. Although I remember being able to do this. Oh, and sure as shit, you still can. It's amazing. You can take the little pad right here, and you can put that in that spot, and that will still close. That's amazing. I remember being able to do that when I was a kid as a way to kind of store it. But looking at this, this also looks identical. So I feel like they were able to go back and get some of the older molding. Well, no, is that the same size? Yeah, it looks exactly the same. So really cool that they were able to kind of revisit that from the previous line. And then he also does come with the display stand. Again, not nearly as good as the original ones. This is my O'Brien one as well, but you can see, I don't know. I'm much more partial to that guy there, but figure-wise, I'm absolutely super loving this. he does feel like he's a little bit more thin. I don't know. I mean, he was definitely a thinner guy. I think that the figure looks good. Maybe his neck is too long. I'm not entirely... Yeah, maybe that's what it is. The neck does kind of feel like it's a bit long, but the likeness is really nice on him. Now, I did see somebody talking about how basically they were able to use a lot of new 3D scanning and things like that, and they were doing some special like paint applications. I feel like they really didn't... it does want to focus. I feel like they didn't really do that good of a job on the paint applications for the face. Like, the hair, everything that looks fine. I mean, he's got painted eyes, all of that. I just feel like the flesh tone in the actual face is not nearly as good as it really should be. I wish that would stay focused. Come on, stay. I don't know why it keeps kind of like not wanting to focus, but I just feel like there should be more color in his face. That the white just really kind of throws it off. I mean, it's not terribly bad or anything, but I do wish it could be a little bit more kind of realistic, I suppose. Really nice costume on him as well. You got the communicator there. He's got the 3 pips for commander rank, but definitely a season 3 style costume with him. But we got to do the comparison, right? We got to see how he looks. Now you saw that other Riker figure. That's not the one that was originally in my collection. The original one in my collection was kind of a weird one because he was like battle damaged of sorts. So we got to do the old time travel thing again. If I can get him to stand right there. Here we go. Let's bring in my time space transporter. Get that in here. This is actually a lot bigger than I really remember it being, type of thing. But let's see. Let's kind of angle this. I got to be able to actually show you this. And while I was editing the other video, it kind of was hard to see. I mean, you could kind of see it, but it still really wasn't all that good. So let's come in here, get a good zoom in here. Let's see if this actually works. Let's activate the transporter and pull my original vintage figure back from my collection from when I was a kid. So let's see. It's like really hard to see inside there. Maybe because of how bright it is. That's probably what it is. Oh wait, you can kind of see him, I think. Let's see. If I get this up, you can. There, yeah, you can kind of see him. So wait, let's in the back. Let's in the back. And now let's bring him back again. I'm sorry. There we go. Yeah, you can see him in there. So let's reach in. And oh, there he is. There he is. Here is that original vintage figure. I hope, you know, my younger self wasn't in the middle of trying to play with this, because probably just ruined that. He's like, what's going on? But you can see, it's like, wait a minute, why is he, like, perpetually in this pose? It's like, no, stop! Oh, I got my phaser! Zap, 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 zap. Which, you can have him hold this phaser, if you really wanted to. So, there's that. But you can see, like I said, battle damaged with him, which I don't really get. He also had this weird pose where he was, like, walking. But you can see that the new figures, I mean, the height here is actually pretty decent by comparison. Definitely a more bulky, and then you can see a little bit more of a kind of maroonish color to the costume itself. But much more accurate on this side than this. But even when you look at here, it's like there's more paint. There's just a more flesh tone to that, whereas this one is just a little bit more white-ish. So that is definitely kind of weird, if you ask me. But the overall proportions are better on him. He does, again, look a little bit more thin, I think, but it's not bad. I really don't think. But it is interesting to note that this guy at least has a waist swivel. I mean, he always had to sit kind of like that, where now at least you can have him sitting a little bit more naturally. So there's that, I guess. But again, you got the little rip right there. You got the tear, all that fun stuff. Still a fun figure. The posing on that was kind of obnoxious, to be totally honest. But get that back up here. But overall, a still better representation now, I think, with the new figure than the old one. So let's send Commander Riker back, just because, again, I don't want my younger self to get upset at me for taking this. So we're going to put him inside there. Find the little peg hole so he can stand proper. There we are. Put that there. And then, let's see, can we see him in there? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can totally see him standing there. Now let's send him away. Let's go back to the past. Woo! And now he's gone. So wonderful, wonderful. Hopefully, again, I didn't create any, time, space abnormalities or anything of that nature. But for the figure, again, really very nice. Articulation is the same as Captain Picard's. You get a little bit of a ball joint, but it's primarily just going to look left and right. You have a pin hinge joint here for the shoulders. Same thing with the elbows itself. You have a swivel at the wrist. Nothing at the waist, which, again, at least the other one had that. I don't know why they couldn't do that with this guy, but, it's neither here nor there. You do have a kind of like ball joint. Yeah, that's definitely a ball joint right up there at the hip section, the pin, as well as the swivel joint at the knee. You also do have the hinge forward and back, and then the swivel left and right. So lots of articulation in the guy, minus the waist section. So it is what it is. But a fun figure. Really a fun figure. I'm really enjoying it. I think that they did a great job with these. I'm super happy that they are doing them. I do hope that they continue the line and do other characters. Worf, Geordi, Troy, Crusher, all of them. Hell, even if they did a Wesley Crusher, I'd be happy. But there you go, guys. There's my look at the new 2022 Playmates Toys Star Trek The Next Generation Commander William Riker. If you'd like to add this guy to your collection, he is hitting various retail locations right now. So if you are looking for him, good luck and happy hunting. Or as always, you can do the real easy thing and just go online to places like Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon, or even Entertainment Earth. For all of those places, I'll put links right down there in the video description, where you can head on over and check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of the wide range of Star Trek figures. And finally, guys, please remember that the real trouble with the world is that too many people grow up. Thank you all so much for watching and taking the time to be a kid.